Hello children, in today's session we will be learning about pressure. What all the activities and the phenomena we have learned till today, they are all related to our day-to-day situations. Science is nothing but day-to-day life. So whatever the phenomena concept we have studied till today, they are all related to the day-to-day activities. So why it is so? Why we are doing it like this only? The answer for the question is given by science here. Okay. So pressure is nothing but the force acting on a unit area of a surface is called pressure. So here force, when it is acting on certain area, we call that force as pressure here. Okay. In the previous session we learnt the force as a push or a pull. When we apply the same force on unit area means a certain area, then we call it as pressure. Usually we consider the pressure exerted by solids, liquids and gases all together. Usually we consider this pressure perpendicular to the area here. Okay, perpendicular means straight away when we push it like this or even like this, perpendicular to the area. Then we consider that force as pressure here. So pressure is nothing but force divided by area on which it acts. So here pressure is directly proportional to force. As we increase the force, the pressure also increases. As we decrease the force, the pressure also decreases. But it is inversely proportional to the area on which it acts. It means that on a smaller area when force is exerted, the pressure is more. Smaller the area, more the pressure. Larger the area, less the pressure. What do you mean by this, or how we can analyze this? This pressure, it is related to, it will be exerted by solids also, liquids also and gases also. So let us see with the help of some of the activities how all these phenomena can be explained. Now start with the solids here. The pressure exerted by the solids on unit area, the force exerted by the solids on unit area, we considered it as pressure here. Now we consider the forces which are acting perpendicular to the surface on which pressure is to be computed. So here we consider the forces which are acting perpendicular to the surface. How it is so, or what do you mean by this? Now here I have taken a sandpaper and I have taken a nail here. I want to insert or make a hole on this sandpaper. I will try now. Okay, I will try with this larger, bigger area. Can I do it? Not possible. Yes? How can we do this? We are to use the pointed edge, a smaller area here. So, when I prick it, I can easily make the hole. So, when I applied force on the unit area, force acting on unit area is considered as pressure here. This is by pressure I am pushing it. I am applying a force that will be exerting a pressure on the area. Pressure is inversely proportional to the area. I told it in the few minutes back. Pressure is inversely proportional to the area. Means more the pressure, lesser will be the area, or smaller the area, more pressure is exerted. Larger the area, less pressure is exerted. So, if I want to apply more pressure, then I should be selecting a smaller area to apply the force there. Okay, this is how we can find in case of solids. Any other examples, children? If I want to nail this in a wooden plank, then I cannot do it with this edge. Okay, I have to use the pointed edge. When we are sieving, okay, then again the needles, pointed edge has to be taken. When we are using a pin, the pointed edge of the pin only will be taken. Okay, that is mainly because smaller the area, pressure exerted will be more and force will be lesser that time. The other way if you take, okay, if you see your school bags, the strips of your school bags, they will be always broader, because if they are smaller, if it is thin, then that will exert more pressure on your shoulders. Okay. For any other examples, children? The bags, if you are taking a bag, nylon bag to the market, then if the strips are broader, it won't exert any pressure on your hands. If the strips are thinner, then they will cut your fingers. Okay, they will make rashes on your fingers. That is because less area, more pressure is exerted. Now let us see some activities for the liquids exerting pressure. Liquids exert pressure on the walls of the container. So, liquids also exert pressure on the walls of the container in which it is taken. Now, let us do an activity for that. I have taken a bottle of water here and I have taken a hand gloves which is elastic. Yes. Now we can see the water which is completely filled inside this gloves. So we can see the swollen hands here, fingers. Okay. That is liquid which is inside is exerting a pressure on the walls of the container here. Okay. If I make it upside down, the same thing can be explained for gases. Okay. Gases exert pressure on the walls of the container. Let us see the magic now. See here. There is no water inside, but still how the fingers are standing still? That's mainly because the gas which was present inside the bottle, once the water got inside the bottle, the gas moved upside and filled into the gloves here. So gases also exert pressure on the walls of the container in which it is contained. Now, more the pressure, more the force, the pressure will also be increasing. Okay, let us see that how when force is increased, the pressure also increases. Now I have taken a filter, adding water into this. Now we can see the water force here. The water is dropping down. Now it is become less because the force reduced here. I'll add more water. If I put more pressure with this, see, we can see a shower here. So the shower bath what you are taking, that is mainly based on the principle of force and pressure. Okay. So the general concepts what we see around us, they are nothing but the answers for the scientific concepts, force and pressure. Okay. So now children, what you have to do is, you have to make a list of 10 things. Okay. Applying pressure on solids, liquids and gases, whatever the instances you are seeing around. Okay, you have to make a list of 10 such instances. Now, similarly, taking a pichkari here, I can show you. Okay, so as I apply force on the pichkari, we can see the pressure here. If I reduce the force, the pressure is also less. If I increase the force, the pressure is also increasing here. So, force and pressure are directly proportional to each other. We are surrounded by a set of gases. There are many gases in the atmosphere. Okay, layers of gases are there. Together it is called as air. Yes. So this atmospheric air is also exerting a pressure on our body. Because of gravity, the gases are trapped in the atmosphere. Otherwise, we wouldn't have got the gases to breathe. Because gases are lighter, they move upward always. But because of gravitational force, even the gases are trapped in the atmosphere. The pressure exerted by the layers of gases in the atmosphere as air is called atmospheric pressure. So the pressure exerted by all the gases in the atmosphere is called as atmospheric pressure. So over our head, even around our body, there is a pressure of the gases present. But why we are not feeling that pressure on our head? Why we are not feeling the air pressure around our body? Yes, it is mainly because the fluids which are present in our body also exert equal pressure, equal to the atmospheric pressure which is outside, because we are also controlled by the gravitational force. That is why there is a balanced forces acted by our body as well as the atmosphere, which are opposite in direction. So there is no feeling of pressure exerted by the atmospheric gases on our body. Okay. So in this chapter we studied about different concepts related to force and pressure, types of forces. Okay. Everything we studied in this chapter. This completes the chapter. Now I'll be explaining or discussing the exercise in the next session. Okay. Thank you, children.